We just got home here in Austin, Texas, and it's raining, which I'm actually so grateful for because it has been so hot in every place we've passed through and also on the playa. This rain just feels like a cleanse and also a cry, which is very reflective of how I feel and what I feel like I need more of. So I'm just going to go relish in this and not rush the process and shower. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Ow. Funny bone that's never funny. Never funny. That's the way to start, isn't it? It's kind of exactly how I feel. Yep, just hitting up against things, bumping things that, you know, are meant to be fun and funny and lighthearted, and I'm like, ugh, it's really not. It's really not. Very representative of that which I'm feeling and that which is the theme of this video, which this week we are talking about Burning Man. And it's been 2 weeks since I got back, and it's taken me that long to integrate and feel like I can even begin to encapsulate the whole essence and experience of Burning Man. What I have got to is exactly that moment, is that it was uncomfortable, and the theme of my life seems to be the theme of Burning Man. Like, Burning Man is pretty much a macrocosm of the microcosm of life. Like, everything that is present and showing up in anybody's life that goes to Burning Man, I believe, is exaggerated and amplified and all squished into a really, intensified experience of Burning Man. Our shit, that which challenges us, or that shows up when we are challenged, and also how much beauty and connection and openness we are able to access is really amplified, and exaggerated. And Burning Man takes you out of your regular known environment into an experience that pretty much feels like you've landed on the moon, like a completely different planet, where the structures that usually run your life are all different, where the people are all different, where your routine and ways of being and expressing are completely different. And the burning of the man literally means the burning of societal structures, rules, and ways that we live and run our world. And also our own individual man, who we are as the human that we are, and the structures in which we've been born into, and the rules and regulations we've learnt, our domestication, who we've become in relation to our parents and everything we've learnt and been told we should and shouldn't do. It's representative of burning that. Like, who would we be and what world would we live in if we weren't under the confines or restraints or conditioning of that which we've been born into and sort of just default to? You get to Burning Man, it's this beautiful opportunity to let that go. Like, this world is not about monetary exchange, it's about contribution and about self-expression. And no one asks what you do for a living or who you are. It's more about how do you self-express and how do you show up and how do you contribute. It's just a different way of living. One of the principles of Burning Man is gifting. And when I was in Australia, was going through all Mum's old jewellery and decided to take, with her permission of course, all of her old costume jewellery necklaces and give them away as gifts. And with each necklace, I asked everybody what was their intention of coming to the burn. And there were some really beautiful answers: resolution, deeper connection, to release and let go, to be shown what they need to be shown, all these different beautiful intentions, and I realized like, oh shit, I don't know if I really got clear on my intention of coming. I knew my intention was filling up my relationship bucket in my life, and Burning Man for Marco and I is such a big part of our lives, but we hadn't been together, so we really, really wanted this experience together. But I wasn't clear on if I was going to Burning Man to release and let go and just not feel and be able to let my hair down and switch off, or if I was going to really remember and tap in and feel and process. And ultimately I got both of those experiences. I danced to remember and I danced to forget. That song, some dance to remember, some dance to forget, played on the way out of Burning Man, and I was like, that's it. Dance to remember and I danced to forget. And I realized that when I dance to forget, it doesn't feel good anymore to me to try to ignore life, to try to ignore what's going on, to try not to feel what it feels like to be me in my body and in my life at the moment. I think that also just really got highlighted for me coming out of Burning Man, realizing like, even though everything feels really hard and there is a lot of change, that it's always going to be better to be with it and not run, to expand into it, to sit with the discomfort, to welcome the change, throwing myself into the fire of change. And that's what Burning Man is. It's uncomfortable. It's taking myself out of the structure and the routine and the life that I'm living and I'm attached to, and that I think I have to do and be and create, and I don't have enough time. It's like just pulling myself out, like getting perspective, embracing change, seeing the self, and throwing myself in the fire, because ultimately that is the fast track to evolution, the fast track to our higher selves, the fast track to our hearts, fast track to God. Call it what you will. I know that's a big charged word, and it has been for me for a very long time, but now I just feel like, oh yeah, that part of me, feeling closer and closer to, and grateful, so grateful for. I think that is it. I am on lesson 267, Course in Miracles, and today's reading, my heart is beating in the peace of God. Let me attend your answer, not my own. In the peace the heart of love created, it is there and only there that I can be at home.